We filed open records requests, which were, today we received information that they were being denied on the basis of criminal investigation, which is the age-old scenario that they tell people in the community. If you want transparency, there should be transparency. Open records laws were created for there to be transparency. There is no investigation that is happening with and mind you, this was the open records request to Waukegan. So there's no criminal investigation or administrative investigation that should prohibit the family from knowing how the alderman got access to that photograph. That is utterly ridiculous. Transparency is transparency. It should be had. Justice should not be prevented. The lawsuit was filed yesterday against Maxwell Anderson. The lawsuit is public information. You can read it for the actual facts as they state therein. I think most of the facts are obvious to the community at this point. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over the facts. What I will say is that the family would like to protect their rights, protect the image of their daughter, that is one of the main reasons for that lawsuit. No criminal should have the right to make money off of harm that they do to the community. That goes without saying. And therefore, I believe that the images of him, as well as the images of Sade Robinson, those rights should remain with the family. They should have the rights, if there was ever a television show or a movie that was produced or a interview done, they should have all rights to that information, those images, as they see fit. They should have the right to determine the legacy of their daughter, the imagery of their daughter. The lawsuit is also being held and been put into place because we believe that anyone that is harmed in this community deserves the right to go after and seek retribution, financially as well as emotionally, for what has been done to them. If they do that, there should also be put in place immediately by the city, by the state, halts on all access to that person's assets, be that their home, be it their financial bank accounts, be it any business that they have interest in. The federal government does that all the time. It is a normal, actual practice. I've represented many a federal case, and every time I walk in the courtroom, the first thing that is filed is a halt on all finances. Same thing should be happening at these types of situations. The family is going to be going to court tomorrow. There is a motion that has been filed for access to a computer for Anderson. The family is not pleased. They are not happy about that motion being filed. Many defendants have filed that same motion, and that motion has been denied. There should be no special circumstances in this situation. We are more worried that that computer that harm will be done with access to that computer than good. Anybody that takes actions to sell off the residence where this happened in less than 30 days, I don't trust. The family doesn't trust it, and the community shouldn't trust it. The judges shouldn't trust it. At this point, what should be done is his lawyer should be granted access to go in with the information for them to review it, as many times as I have had to do with my clients. As many times as I've had motions denied when my client wanted access to it themselves. Lawyers come in, they take the information in there, they allow the client to review it at that point in time, they leave. There is no reason for thorough review thereafter. The lawyer has time, he can sit there for 8 hours with his client. Go over every item, review it with the client, make decisions. There's no need for him to have access to it after the lawyer leaves. I'll now ask for any questions, but I'm gonna limit it to 2, so make them good. No, this is something that community members located, and the community members are willing to testify to. No.
Walk us through what the damages are like, what this kind of case is. You mentioned on the phone that it's not a specific amount. How does damages work?
Damages in this case will be determined by the jury. So it will be based on medical records, medical information. Yes, as the wrongful death cases do have a cap, which in many states they do not. Wisconsin is one of those states where as a legislature, they decide to put caps on many things. Many things that I don't agree should have caps on them. You cannot protect people in a society where the actual income levels and financial ability of a society and the economy of an economy consistently is increasing, and you set caps. So therefore, I can do damage way above the cap and there not be any repercussions. So in other words, just to make it simple, if I'm a car manufacturer and I decide to do something in this car business that would cause damage and harm, and I know that for every person that passes away, I can only get sued for $150,000 or $350,000, though you may be a person that has an income of $2 million a year. You can only get $350,000. That type of thing should not happen in a society that's an economic-based society, and that's what America is. It's an economic-based society. I believe that's the cap for certain wrongful death cases. No, he has not been. We actually just dropped off the paperwork today at the sheriff's department, which is why I said to do it out here for service to happen.
And you said you filed an open records request.
Yes.
In regard to Washington.
Yes.
Has the Milwaukee County Sheriff done any testing or heard from them at all?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't expect to, though, at this point. Like I said, the lawsuit was just filed. I have not myself sent them any open records requests just yet. But I also want the criminal case to move along further than where it is. Before I do that, I don't want to take any actions that may disrupt that process. And I believe that process should resolve before this civil case even resolves.
You mentioned rights, making sure the family retains rights to Sade's story. Has there been any attempts either on Maxwell Anderson's side or elsewhere on the family side to tell her story?
No, not yet. No, not yet. And as we all know, and I'm assuming you know, but I do notice that some of you are kind of young. People in this business, they wait till criminal cases are resolved. They wait to tell certain stories. We just had the Jeffrey Dahmer story just told just now. Those stories aren't usually told immediately because the story hasn't flushed itself out yet. But 10 years from now, think of it this way. If it was your child, would you want your child's story told by the criminal?
This is very traumatic. It's emotionally daily, dealing with trauma, me and my daughter.
They have started to go through some therapy. They are going to be continuing that process. It is not an easy thing to do. None of this is easy. None of it is expected. Nothing about this scenario could ever be in a parent's mind as something that could possibly happen. And I think even the people in the community, if they stop, take 10 minutes and actually pause and think about if their child walked out the door today and they never saw that child again, and the next thing they hear is that remains of their child are popping up across the city. Pause and close your eyes and imagine what that has to feel like. And then imagine, and then step into the reality that you're just imagining it. They're actually living it. That's a totally different scenario. Most of us, we see violence all the time on television. We see it on the news, but we're not actually living it. The actual living of a scenario creates such an entire complexity in your mind and in your soul that most people never will have to endure. And I pray to God they don't. Unfortunately, she is.
How often are you hearing from investigators? Are they continuing to search, or what's the status of the investigation?
You ain't gotta answer that if you don't want to.
No comment.
I think that's it, guys.
Are you able, I know you already touched on it a little
Uh-huh.
bit. All the proceeds from his house, you guys are also
Yes.
talk about that?
Yes.
Please
Yes.
talk about that. Why?
Well, There was a lot of things done in that transfer that we don't believe were legal. We're going to try to get to the bottom of that transfer. We still have investigators looking into it, and we are looking into it even more day by day, and we hope the court takes it seriously to also look into it.
Overall, what would you suggest that this civil suit means for the family and for the legacy?
Control and peace. You want to gain back some control of your life. Right now, her life is in a state of chaos. Every day, there's a new comment, there's a new Facebook post, there's a new story being told. You need, as a parent, to control your own future, your own destiny, your own path, the story of your own child. We as parents, you try to guide your child. You try to push them in a certain direction. You try to lead them. But at this point, right now, her child is being led by everyone but her. The DA's office is leading part of the story. The news is leading part of the story. She wants some control back. She wants some peace back. She wants to be able to say that this is who my child was and who she should be remembered as.
And Sade's legacy, I've seen pictures of your search team. They've been out searching for other folks. Like, this is something that's happening right now?
So I have no comment on that. I really can't comment to that. I can tell you that this investigation is far from over. Thank you.
Justice for Sade.
Justice for Sade.